M0FXB, welcome to my channel, INRICO TM-9. So let's have a go at fitting the SIM card for 4G or 3G use if you're using the older TM7. But if you've got the TM7 Plus, it'll be 4G. And also an SD card for expanding the memory. So first thing you want to do is just take off the mounting bracket. If you've got it on, and it's just a screw on the side, just a flat screw on the side, both sides, and you lift that off. The next thing is get yourself, now the size of this one says here T10 times 50, and take out, you've got 1, 2, and then 3, 4. So the four screws, they look like this, that are behind. Then you've got to take out the smaller size. Now this is the tool that I'm using. Trying to see if I can see the size, but it's quite worn away. But it's a smaller size than the 50mm, and we're going to take out 1, 2. Let's turn it over. 3, 4. Okay, once you've got those 4 out, it will lift apart. Now be careful because there's a ribbon. There's a ribbon holding the sections together. You can actually get to the SD cards. Sorry, the SIM cards for the phone. You can get to them just by removing 2 screws here. So you don't need to take it apart to get to put the phone cards in, basically. And that's just 2 very small Phillips pointy screws, and then you can just lift it off. And the SIM card literally just pushes into place. And it's the size it is this size. See the hole? That's the size. It's not the smallest size. It's the next size up. Okay, so let's just take this apart. We've got all the screws out, got all the antenna connectors. That antenna there is actually a GPS antenna. I've got a GPS antenna here. The other 2 aren't in use, but they could be. If you look inside, you'll realize that you can actually tap into some of these items. So if we just take it apart really carefully, the wire that you're seeing there is going to the GPS. If you wanted to, you can tap in, I've seen it done before, to the antenna for Wi-Fi and for 4G. But I'm not doing that in this. I just want to add the SD card. So the thing that's holding these together is really just the red and black cable there. But I'm going to see if I can get to that. I've got a feeling I can remove that board just by removing these 4 screws, and I've got a feeling I can lift that board out. The other thing is I can actually see in there, if I look, see if I can pull this one out. Yeah, it's not too difficult. Probably the speaker cable. If I can lift that out, then I'll be able to move it. I'll be able to move this to a right angle. 1 second. Okay, it was actually easier to disconnect this one here. So then I can move it a bit more like that. You still got to watch this ribbon cable. Look, that ribbon cable looks essential. So see, if you look in there, let's see if we can zoom in and get some light on this. Just underneath the ribbon cable, move this back, you can actually see here where the SD card would go. Not sure which way around, or you can remove those 4 screws and slide this out, which I might do just for fun. So I'll show you what those 4 screws look like. And if you're going to remove them, I would say keep it with the screws above you. There's the screws there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just zoom it in. Hold it that way, and then as you undo them, at least it won't fall out. So let's have a go at doing that. Right, we've undone those screws. We're opening it up carefully. Let's turn it all the way around, like so. Let's open it up like that. Oh, ribbon cable. Let's see if that's loose. So that's loose, so that should come out now, like so. I've got some signs of of wetness there, I would say. See that? Wonder what that even is. Okay, let's again, we're trying not to stretch the ribbon cable, because once you've ruined the ribbon cable, I think it'll be a very hard thing to replace. So let's go like that, and then look, it looks like our SD card goes in there. So is that the size? Let's have a look. It's sort of clipped up, and then it looks like it's gonna open. It did clip up, watch, clip down. There you are. So now let's see if we can get a SIM card in there. The shape is there, you can sort of see the shape of the, get my hands out of the way. See, the shape does go there. Let's get it in the actual, there, that's in the shape now. And then we'll put it in and clip it back to the right, same position it was in. Need to get it flat, otherwise it's gonna not clip, you know. I'll keep trying till I get it in. Okay, and it's down to take it out, and it clips in when you go up, and you sort of push it into place. And then we've got our SIM card there as well. So once we've done that, we need to carefully, without ripping the cord, get this back into its housing and get one of the screws in. So as you can see, turning it round, always being aware of the little plastic pieces come out here as well. I'm sure that helped with fixing it all. I'm not sure if we'll reuse that, but anyway. And yeah, it's quite clever, you know, bit of kit in it. It's basically a phone, isn't it? Speaker. I got to remember to put that plug back in. They're big, aren't they? I wonder what they do. I bet you it's to do with the original way it was powered. You know, but you know. Okay, we'll keep going. You get an idea of how it's lined up because you can look where the DC cable goes. Just about here, there's a DC cable. So if you line that up, then you know it's, you know, you're not far off. And what I'll do now, I know I haven't plugged in the speaker yet. I'll put the front back on and try and get a screw underneath to sort of hold that board in place. There you go. We managed to get 2 of the screws in here and here, so that'll hold it in place. We can now take it apart. I did put a screw in the top to hold the front on. Take that back out now. Let's just open this up. Like so. And then what we want to do now is get that screw, sorry, not screw, plug, speaker plug back in place, which was here. Just here. Get that back in place. Right, let's put it back in place. I'm going to power it up. Before I fully assemble, I'm going to power it up. Just make sure everything's working. Right. I do enjoy doing this. Obviously, I hope nothing goes wrong. So we'll lift the case back in. Trying to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. So let's get a screw in the top, which is the smaller screws. Once we get a screw in the top and a screw at the back, then it can't fall apart. That's how we're going to damage our ribbon cables and wires. That's it. So we've got one in the top And I'll get one of the big ones at the back. And then really it can't fall apart. So you can see the big one there. There's 4 of them. Okay, I think from that we can power it. I might just put another big one in, just for fun. Hopefully I haven't left anything out. That little plastic piece did fall out, but you know, I'm just gonna have to risk it. And let's actually, might as well put in a couple of those screws that hold the board in place, because it seems like that's quite important. And hopefully they'll catch. Yeah, that's fine. When we turn it on, we should now be able to get it should have something on the screen that says it's now got an SD card. Ah, that one's just turning and turning. So maybe that was you remember the thing that had fallen out? That's probably what that was. So, oh well, we're gonna have to live with that. So the thing that fell out, let's have a look at it. Is this. So I'm guessing it somehow connected to it, and then it has a thread that holds it in place. I don't think it matters that much. Right, okay. Power connected. And then let's turn it on. Give that a minute to boot. Right, well it's booted. I don't have any messages about storage. That's what I was expecting to see. Ah, transcend SD card. So that's good. Let's tap it. And SIM card changed. So something's happening. So let's push use as portable storage. Use as internal storage. So I think use as internal. Next. Erase and format. This is good. That's what we wanted. Because once it's in there forever. This TM-7, I know it's an old unit, but it's a keeper for me. One thing we do want to know is that the volume is working. Right, it gives me the option to move things, so I'm going to say, yeah, move it now. Next. Oops. I think good. It's going to move a load of stuff, apps and things, to the SD card, freeing up space on the actual device. Done. I'm very pleased with that. That was the whole point of it. So the next thing is SIM card. It says, yeah, preferred SIM. That looks fine. And it's 02, which is what giffgaff is. I wonder if I can find my number. Ask every time. What's that? Seems alright. SM Messenger. Mobile data. 02. I wonder if it can. I can't see my number, but it's obviously working. So let's go to settings. We look at SIM card. And it's pretty much the same data, isn't it? Go back. I did actually make a note of the number. I could ring it, but it's probably got no credit on it. So let's just go back to, we're going to get all the screws back in. As you know, it's 4 behind the main case. Screws at the top and beneath. Screws here and here. Put the plate back on. A couple of screws there. And then the 4 screws that are behind the main head unit, and that's it really. And I'm glad that, because it hasn't got an external antenna for let me think now, 4G or Wi-Fi, but it all seems to be fine. So I think we need to enable the SIM card, but I'd have to put money on it to do that, and I'm not sure if I want to. I might put a £5 on it just once, just to see it working. I've got the phone number. Let's just check that we're getting audio with the volume. Make sure I plugged that back in correct. So we go Zello. So at the moment I'm not hearing any clicks, which is worrying. Let's go to history. Scroll down.
Calling and standing by.
Perfect.
M3UY. Calling and standing by.
Okay, let's get all our screws back in. Okay, screws top and bottom. All in. And then the ones that go behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all in. It's working great. We can get the microphone back on here. And then we'll get the bracket back on as well. 2 silver screws there. All done. Thanks for watching my channel. 7.3, all the best. So we quickly check the storage actually. Home button. Settings. And then we'll have storage here, won't we? Data, memory, storage and USB. SD card is ticked. Trans said, yeah, it was 64 GB. So look, yeah, loads of storage. Bye for now, 7.3, all the best.